All right, welcome back. She is the founder of Success in Steps. She's a parent consultant and a child behavior specialist. Her name is Sylvia Corzato, and she's here. Hello, Sylvia.
Hello, Dylan.
Good to have you on the show. How long has it been at this point since we've had you on the show? It's been a while.
It's been a few months.
It's good to have you back.
It's nice to be back, thanks.
And it's good at this time of year because we're talking about all kinds of things when it comes to kids, like just sleeping better, behaving better, especially after the holiday season. It's got to be kind of a challenge.
Yeah,
to get them
back into routine.
Back into routine. First day of school today as well. So tell us about Success in Steps.
So I'm a parent consultant and child behavior specialist, and I help overwhelmed and stressed out parents spend less time on challenges in behavior and more time on family time.
Which is a lovely thing.
Which it is, because parenting can be fun, but when we get so overwhelmed with dealing with challenges and behaviors all the time that it's a little, we get stressed out and we don't enjoy it as much. We feel like we're yelling or feeling awful about what we're doing as opposed to enjoying the time together.
And I find, just like with everything in life, you're not enjoying the moments, and all of a sudden the kids are getting older and older, and you wish you kind of had those moments back, right?
Yeah,
so
it goes by way too fast.
Way too fast. This is a pretty new venture for you, though. It hasn't been around for very long at this point.
It's going to be 2 years in March.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Coming up to an anniversary. So now we have a 3-part virtual workshop, and it's called Finding Balance in Your Family's Chaos.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, why did you put this workshop together?
So I work with families one-on-one, and not all families are able to take the time to work with me one-on-one. So I decided to put out a workshop for families that wanted some support but didn't feel that they needed that one-on-one approach. And so I actually launched it back in the end of last year.
Okay.
And based on the feedback that I received, I decided to launch it again. It's a 3-part workshop, and it helps parent understand the why behind a behavior, some strategies, and also to make them understand what's maintaining the behavior so that they can start making a positive impact.
Okay, and now this is all happening online then?
All online, virtual, so if people sign up for it and not able to attend to it live, whoever signs up for it will get a recording of it, and the first 3 people that do sign up for it will have an opportunity to have a free one-on-one consultation with me as well.
Oh, that's good.
It was just launched today, so the opportunity is still out there.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so but the actual workshop doesn't begin until the end of January?
That's correct.
Okay, so it's 3 different weeks?
It's 3 different weeks, 3 different Mondays, all at the same time slot. And it's happening through Zoom, so virtual. Everyone that signs up will get the link, and they can purchase the tickets through Eventbrite, or also go on my Facebook page for Success in Steps, and there'll be a link there as well at the end of the day.
Do you have to, are you seen when you're doing this? Like, say if I was to sign up, would you see me?
No, you won't. No, this time around we won't.
Seen.
You will see me, but we're not going to show this time around the people that are participating. That was one of the feedbacks that I received from last workshop, and so I've decided to just so people can see me, so that other people's privacy stays secret.
I know it's a silly question to ask, but I guess sometimes moms are just sort of maybe they're not feeling their best or they're most presentable and they don't want to be seen or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly. And some people did it from work during their lunch hour, and others do it from the comfort of their own home. So it's to their choice, their liking.
Interesting. Tell us about some of the topics that you'd be exploring.
Morning routines, feeling like you're in a broken record all the time. Why isn't your child listening? Why is there back talk? Aggression towards, if you're asking your child to do something, why is there aggression? Why is it that no matter what you say doesn't work? So really talking about the functions of the behaviors, the why behind it. There's normally a function, so we discuss those 4 functions, and then also what's maintaining it. Sometimes there's the smallest little things that we don't realize that can maintain a child's behavior. But every child's different, and every parent's different as well. So,
of all the topics that you've mentioned just now, what would you say is the most difficult, being a mom yourself, to actually implement? Well,
it's a little tricky for me because everyone says that my kids have been on a behavior program since the day that they were born. But really, it's compliance, because as your kids grow up, their developmental stage changes and they'll try and test the limits. So they're always trying to test boundaries. So really clear expectation and consistency are my 2 prime things that whenever I'm working with a family, that if you stick to those with the strategies, then you're going to get the success that you want.
Okay. Is it difficult? Because I'm seeing one right in front of me now. I notice a lot of children that I'm involved with, the whiny aggressive behaviors, a lot of like, but I want to. How do you change that to what you're saying here is using their own words? Like how difficult is that?
It's not that difficult once we understand why they're actually doing it. So if they're doing it to escape demand, like if you ask them to do something, there's certain strategies that you can use to follow through so we can prevent that, which means ignoring why they're whining and then just reinstating the demand that you place, like pick up the toys. But if they're whining because they're trying to access something, then that would be dealt with differently. So it's really important to understand why the behavior is happening in order to diminish it and replace it with something that's more socially appropriate as well.
Oh.
And that way we can encourage them to use their words.
Okay.
And we have to work with the child's motivation for that as well.
Okay. It just
That's
sounds
key.
like one that's very difficult to put into practice.
It is, but once you get the whole picture, that's when you're able to deal with it effectively.
Okay. Being the new year and you know kids are back to school and everything, is it difficult to get them back into this routine? It must be a challenge because they've been out of school now 2-3 weeks perhaps.
Yeah, you know, there's kids that thrive from routine. So I find that a lot of parents, specifically the ones that I've been working with as well, I've been getting a lot of questions on this. They have a hard time with their kids always being bored and such, and they always need to be entertained. Well, at school they have a very rigid routine, right? Like they have a visual schedule on the board in elementary school, so the kids know what to expect. When you're on vacation, you don't really know what to expect. So I always encourage families, if there's a break in school, that you write it down for the kids on a dry erase board. I typically use a frame with a piece of white paper in the back, and I turn it into a dry erase board, or just a piece of paper, and writing out what to expect for the course of the day. Once clear expectations are provided to the kids, there's less of a challenge. But what I also like to encourage families is whenever there is going back to school, beginning of after a holiday, this is the time that you can start placing new expectations, because things have been kind of up in the air. You've been a little bit loose with bedtime routine or those kind of structures, that you can start putting new expectations on the kids. And if you wanted to put their bedtime a little bit earlier, now's the time to do it. Or if you want them to start making their lunches at night, now's the time to do it.
It's amazing. And the person to tell you to do it, Sylvia Corzato, because I think that you just seem to know everything about all this kind of stuff.
Not every, there's always room for improvement, but
well, people can learn a lot from you, and that's why I think that they definitely need to sign up through successinsteps.ca for this amazing Finding Balance in Your Family's Chaos 3-part virtual workshop.
Thank you, Dylan.
Thank you for being here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well.
And we've got more Daytime coming up on Rogers TV.